You are listening to Unleash Your Creativity with Omashola, where creativity is showcased in its many dimensions. A time to celebrate, empower, inspire, and equip creatives with thought-provoking interviews and up-to-date information.
Hello and welcome to Unleash Your Creativity with Omashola. This is the show where we celebrate creativity in its many dimensions. And I know my listeners, you've been hearing this every week. And I know by now you'll be able to say it by heart yourself. It is where we explore different hobbies, crafts, passions, skills, and it is still limitless. What I love saying about the show is for people who are just joining, it is where we showcase creativity, breathe creativity, live creativity, embrace creativity, enjoy creativity, and of course by now you would know my favorite one, which is to celebrate creativity. And I'm your host, and I continue to use this platform to allow creatives to come together, glean from one another, your past, your present, your future, whatever it is, as long as you can find the word creativity within it. Today, I am extremely excited. I'm always excited, but I'm doubly excited today. And the reason being is that it takes me personally down memory lane. It takes me down the path of hairdressing, where it all started for me. Believe it or not, I started as a hairdresser, trained with Revlon School of Hairdressing. And boy, that was a journey. But I'm retired now. And the beauty of it is I've got somebody who is practicing, and she is making an amazing difference in the industry. I was looking at the word hair. Hair is something that has a significant place in our lives. It is something that takes our time and more often than not needs our attention, and it partners with our head. So whether you have hair or you don't have hair, you have no choice but to look after your head. And we're going to be getting some tips on how that is done. And I'm not stereotyping. So men, women, whether you decide to be bald or is a choice by default, here is where we're going to be talking all about hairdressing. Now, you know, I always have a word, and my word for today is innovation. And what is innovation? Innovation is the process of introducing new ideas, methods, products, and services that brings significant positive change or improvement. It involves the creation, development, and implementation of novel solutions or addressing existing problems. Personally, I believe hairdressing is one of those that keeps on reinventing itself. It is and is continuously innovative. From the afro to the perm to the wigs to the frontal to the extensions, and the list goes on. Well, it is time for me to invite my guest who will be sharing her story and how she also has evolved and joined this continuous innovative industry. I have something I'm going to say because I know some of you will go, hairdressing. Yeah, I love my hair, but I don't think I want to sit down and listen. I have got something that's going to keep you glued to your seat. And we're not going to reveal this until the last section of the show. So you have no choice but to listen. But I know you will enjoy this. And this is how Chrisbecks has generated a combination on her social media of almost 500,000 followers. I shall repeat that again. Almost 500,000 followers. Nobody wants to know. I want to know how she was able to achieve that. And she will be sharing that with us. Even if she doesn't even know, well, I've put her on the spot now. She's going to have to share with us how she's made that happen. And if you haven't been following me, by all means, please do at the Place of Excellence. Now it is time to bring in my guest, Christiana. It is nice to have you on the show. You are popularly known as Chrisbecks. You are welcome.
Thank you so much for having me today.
You can see I'm so excited. I'm doubly excited. And I'm excited because you're one of my fans. You listen to my show. You give me great feedback. I am very excited to have you on it. And I will be giving you feedback.
Thank you so much.
So I love the name Chrisbecks. Where did that come from?
Oh my God. That name came from, it's kind of two names. My baptismal name is Christiana. And kind of the name I gave myself growing up was Becky.
I love that.
So long ago, about 19 years ago, a customer of mine, she came to I used to do hair in my house. We're just talking. I'm like, so one day I'm going to have a salon. We're talking about names. And she's like, I think Chrisbecks would be nice. We're just playing around. And years later, I was looking for name. And I remember what she said, Chrisbecks. And that's how the magic came. And that's how the name.
It is a lovely name. And, I had to dig to find your real name because I call you Chrisbecks. Yeah. Now, yes, as you said, this was something that started a very long time ago. And I just wanted to find out, how did it all start for you then? What was the influence? What made you gravitate towards hairdressing?
This started long time ago. What actually made me love hairdressing? I didn't even know that I wanted to be a hairdresser. My daughter was asking me this question about a few weeks ago. Mommy, why did you become a hairdresser? I said, I have to dig because when I was growing up, I have 5 sisters. One of them, she is gorgeous. She have beautiful hair. I used to just admire her. She takes me to the salon. I follow her to the salon. The salon was in my country was called Supreme Hair Salon. And that was the salon that kind of the girls goes to. So when I follow her, I'm just looking at the magazine. I used to see those beautiful hairstyles. From there, I think that's when the love just came in and I just wanted to either do hair or see beautiful hair on people.
Wow. So that is a great story. And I'm glad your daughter prompted you. So now you didn't have to think too hard on the show. Now that is amazing. And I just wanted to find out from you, what is something, because we're going to talk all about hair. I wanted to find out so that I like my listeners to connect. What is something about you? How do you spend because it's all about hair. What is something that you do if you are not doing hair? How do you spend your time?
I'm telling you, I am just I like a project. I'm always doing something. I'm just I am always. So if I'm not doing hair, I am researching on the next project to do. Having fun with friends, obviously, that's it. But I'm always, I don't know if you have someone that's always doing something. I am that person. I'm always, if I finish with this project, I always have a project to do. So that kind of occupy me. And
You make me feel good because I thought I was the only one that jumped from one project to another project. So thank you for making me feel normal. I can sense the connection already.
You are listening to Unleash Your Creativity with Omashola, showcasing creativity in its many dimensions.
From your bio, you said it took you about 2 years to study hairdressing. What was that journey like? Because personally, I did hairdressing and people will go, hairdressing, what's she learning for 2 years? Take us on that journey.
Yes, my hairdressing career started, I think, kind of way back, but coming into this country, I wanted to be able to do everyone's hair. I want to call myself a hairstylist, not just focusing on doing just Afro hair. I wanted to be able to do Caucasian hair and everyone hair. So I went to Bromley College and it's 3 years, start from level 1. But because I have a little bit of experience, so I have to start from level 2. So the level 2, we did coloring, cutting. Actually, I went to the school. I thought it was just for me to get a certificate so that I can maybe open my salon in the future. I'm like, what are these people going to teach me? I was amazed. I learned so much and I decided to do a level 3 and I'm happy I did a level 3. So the level 3, it became kind of a creative journey. So we always have a team. Sometimes they give us newspaper and they say just create, and we do theory, not just only doing hair. We do exam every month. So a lot of people don't pass the exam. You have to retake it until you pass the exam. And we do practicals. We have people coming in to do the practical, but it was more than I expected. And I'm happy that I decided
pushed. And I'm going to interject there because I did say that I went down that route as well. And one of if you come from an African descent, people will be going, you're studying hairdressing and you can't fail. You were telling me that some people had to repeat.
Yeah, a lot.
It was the most petrifying defined time of my life that,
No, that was
I'm
shocked.
going in for hairdressing and
I'm not coming to read.
fail. I can't
No.
fail. I can't fail. What are they going to say? There's already a perception around it in itself.
Yes.
And then for you to
Yes.
now go and fail.
Yes.
What I learned as well is how you actually study hair. You take a strand, you understand the porosity, the elasticity, the texture.
Yes.
It's not just putting, as it were, relaxer, and it's deeper. And then for me, what horrified me the most was I had to go back to biology that I didn't like. I had to learn about names. I had to learn about all sorts
I'm telling you. Yes.
Tell me about it. One name that sticks is alopecia. Tell me your stories.
That one, oh dear. And not even alopecia. You know, they have like 3 type or 4 type of alopecia.
The one I remember is alopecia areata.
And those are the names that do come out in the exam. I thought I am a good hairdresser before going to the school. Any of this name, I've never heard of it before. Like kind of use it in a term of kind of porosity. What is porosity? Elasticity. How do you, why do you even need to know that? So most of those names, I have to learn it, as you're saying. And it was difficult because I have to kind of try and memorize it, because in the exam, they are going to ask you before you carry out any coloring service, what kind of a test do you need to carry out? So you need to remember. It wasn't easy.
Very, very, very interesting. And I was going to ask, but you've woven that in. I wanted to say, what did you think about, did you really learn anything? But you've told me that you learned a lot.
I learned more than enough.
And it took out all the misconceptions of, I know my stuff.
No, you have to have the book, because you buy the level 2 book, you buy the level, you have to, like with me, as I said, I like project because I don't want to fail. So I read. Some people just like kind of, they get things easily. With me, I need to kind of go over it. So with knowing that, I didn't take any chances. So I read my textbooks, I go over it. And then when we came for the exam, and that was my time to shine.
Loving it. That really leads nicely to what I was going to ask you, that what did you enjoy the most? Out of all the courses, what was it that really did it for you?
What I enjoyed the most at school was when we are doing kind of a freestyle creating session. Apart from that, the rest was very terrifying, like cutting, because the way I cut was different. But what I enjoyed was, because we have the session where they just say, okay, do whatever you like. Yeah, but later in level 3, I started enjoying coloring. I enjoyed that.
Okay, I'm gonna take you similar, but on a slighter and on another journey, because I was reading your bio and you said you worked with many prestigious salons. And I just wanted to find out, what was that experience like? How did it help you as a business person? Were there transferable skills? What was that journey like?
Oh, that really, really helped me. I would tell anyone, before starting your own business, it's always good to kind of work with someone. Going to the salon, I learn a lot. Number one, that people are willing to spend money. Because of my clients that I know before, that I just think everybody is kind of don't have. So working in that salon, I learn a lot of things, that when you provide a service, there are people that will pay you for that service. I learned that, and I learned a lot about, because after studying, working with a lady, because it was a top salon, the product they use, the best quality, and the customers that were coming there. We have MP coming to the salon. We have judges, and some of the clients now from there, they come to me because the boss gave them my number. So I learned a lot. It's just organizing. It's different. It's really different. So because of those, working with those people make me the kind of stylist I am now, by giving my best, and people are ready to pay you for the service you provide for them.
One of the things that I wanted to ask is that, apart from actually doing the work itself, I know that there are some skills. Like for me, I learned patience, customer service skills in how to relate with people. And as they say, the customer is always right. What kind of other skills that didn't really fit in that you would say you picked up and has helped you?
With me, because that's what I know. When you do what you love, it doesn't really look as if you're working. So I am extremely patient with customer. So the only thing that helped me, that I learned there, was how to act when you are around customer. So you might be laughing with them, but you have to be professional at all time. So I learned that a lot. You don't just open your mouth and say, hairstylists, no. When you are around those customers, you have to, when you talk too much, some of them think you're spitting over their head. So I have to learn that, because sometimes my boss is behind the mirror and telling us time out. You understand? So I have to learn that. And so what I learned there, I carried it to my salon now. So I have to respect my customer, which I wasn't really doing much. It's not that I don't respect, but I just think they are my friends. But no, they are my customer. They are like they bring money to me. So I learned that a lot. So when you're working with those guys, yes, that is what I took. I took a lot of things, but that's one of the things that I'm happy that I learned from that, from the industry, how to just act around customer.
Yeah. And there's another question. I just wanted to, is there teamwork?
Yes.
Any of that happen?
Oh, yeah, you have to be a team. You have to be a team. If you are not together, even with the boss, if the boss is not in a team with you, that salon will just crumble. So even as I said to you, my boss, I still talk to her up till now. When I had my shop, she brought a chair for me for a present.
Wow.
And yes, if she has some client that she sent them, she asked me, I have a client that want to do this. Not every time.
Yeah.
Are you free? And I think it was because all of us, we like what we do. When you're working with people that like what they do, I think we just, that connection, all of us want that shop we want the business to succeed. And definitely, if you're a hairdresser, trying to be a hairdresser, you just want to be a solo hairstylist, it doesn't really work. It has to be a team who will make the salon run smoothly.
Fantastic. So if you're listening and you're thinking of becoming a hairstylist, hairdresser, you have to have patience. If you don't have it, don't worry, you learn it on the job. You have to be a team player and you have to be motivated and motivate others. And what I really took away from what you said there is that it's best to go and get some experience before you start your own.
You are listening to Unleash Your Creativity with Omashola, showcasing creativity in its many dimensions.
Now, we've talked about a lot of your successes. We've talked about things that have worked, things you've enjoyed. Surely there must be some challenges. Share with me some of the things that made you think, why am I doing this? What am I doing to myself?
A lot of things. One that stood out is when there was a day someone showed me a picture of a hairstyle. I'm like, I can't do it. She said, okay, that's fine. You're going to do it for me. I go home. I practice, just like the way people study for their exam. My one is to practice for my exam. I started practicing like 5 or 6 p.m. I was still there around 12 a.m. and I'm going to work the next day and I don't have a clue how to do it. I have to call the person the next day and just have to give her a ridiculous price so that she just don't use me, because I know I'm going to mess up. But after that was a challenge that made me, you need to take this thing very serious. So I still remember that I was a mess because when you're trying to you think it's so easy seeing it in the picture, but that was one of my challenges. And I think it helped me today.
And I think that is great because we all see things and we go, I can do that. Is it not hairdressing? And is it not this?
Simple,
and then you get into it and you realize it is not as simple as that. I also wanted to find out, because I believe that there was a challenge for everybody during the COVID period. I mean, apart from the general cleaning of your hair, we will associate your hairstyles to weddings, to parties, to outings. And during COVID, that all shut down. What did that mean for you and how did you work around that?
COVID wasn't easy, especially for hairstylists. When the COVID hit, before COVID hit, just about 3 months before COVID, I quit my job. Then, yes, I quit my job. I'm like, okay, I have clients now. I'm going to just build my own clients, quit my job, got a chair, prepare a little space in my house. Before you know, it was COVID. No money, nothing, because I wasn't working, so I couldn't get any assistance from anywhere.
Wow.
So what happened. Now, sometimes some things happen, bad things happen for kind of good to kind of appear. Before COVID, I started kind of trying to become better, to niche down in my business. So during then, I just focus. I don't have no customer coming. I don't have money. I'm like, okay, I think they said they are making money on social media. So I just dive in. I've never used Instagram in my life before. I don't even know how to do it. I have to learn. That during that COVID, the first lockdown, I used that to kind of learn a lot about social media, and it kind of occupied me. And then before you know, I started making little money from YouTube. I think that we'll talk about that later.
Yes. So you made it work. You took a situation and you turned it around, and you did a lot of studying.
It wasn't easy.
I guess it wasn't easy. So now let's move on to where you niched down. You said you niched down into becoming a bridal stylist. What is that? Who is a bridal stylist and what do you do?
Yeah, bridal stylist is like, like they have normal hairdresser that is in a salon, and they have people that does designer hair. So bridal hairstylist is the one you go to when you're doing your birthday, when you're doing your photo shoot, when you're doing your wedding. So if you just go to like a regular hairdresser in the shop, because they deal with everyday hair, they don't have that time to actually practice, because to be a bridal hairstylist, you have to keep on practicing. So yes, so that's one of the, as a hairdresser, a bridal hairstylist, you need to be on top of your game, because people will bring hairstyle to you and say, I want that. So you need to know what is going on inside the hair, not just the outside. You need to know, because you don't want to put a padding on somebody's hair and they're dancing and the padding fall off. They will sue you.
Wow.
So we don't want that.
But I also look at it and I think it's a joyous day, because it's a day that, apart from the bride, I think you're one of the most important people of the day, because is there any highlights, like any bridal that stands out for you, that makes you feel on high, that wow, this is worth it?
Do you know what? If you go to especially my Instagram, you will understand, because anybody that book me, all my bride, I've enjoyed working with them. Ask me, why do I enjoy working with them?
Why do you enjoy working with them?
Because most of them, I think they are like me, because my page, because I do a lot of kind of artistic hairstyle. So anybody that comes to me that actually saw my work, those people, they a little bit fussy and they know what they want. You cannot tell them, oh, let's do this. No, they'll tell you that's what I want. And when they come to me, because I like challenge, I like to create, and we just click. They say, you know what? I've told this person. They say, no, we can't do it. But you said yes. I say, yes, whatever you want to do, I'm here to do it for you. Because of that trust, and we just click. I have one on Saturday now. I am so excited because she's giving me kind of the freedom to create something that I actually wanted to do. So any bride I do, I think I've been so lucky, because I have people say, oh, Bridezilla or whatever. But my brides on that day, they are relaxed. And because of that, it makes me do the best job.
Wow. Well, some people will be thinking, okay, I've done my wedding. So there are anniversaries and there are special occasions that you can fit into. Now, because of time, I really also wanted to delve into the fact that you also share this knowledge, and you develop your own courses that you use to educate people. And because I know I have more, I'm going to say, touch on that very briefly. What are your courses about, and how did that happen?
My course, I like to teach. Okay. I'm that person that if I don't know something, you ask me, I will go and kind of figure it out and come and teach. I think that started from a young age. A lot of people say teaching is hard. I tell people, if you want to teach, if you are someone that likes to help people, you know that teaching is for you. I started a YouTube channel. I was putting my videos on YouTube. From there, people started calling me. The first person called me from Australia. She said, do you teach? I've never thought about teaching. I'm like, do you want to learn? She said, yes, I'm just asking. I said, of course I teach. It was my fault. And that teaching, we did it over on WhatsApp. Can you believe?
Wow.
But yes, I don't even know. That's how my teaching started. From there, I started thinking, okay, since people want to learn from me, let me put a course together. So I started with a membership on YouTube. From there, I started filming, because doing the YouTube video, I learned how to use camera, how to edit, how to do a lot of things. That's why it's okay. If you know how to do that, putting a course together, it's not difficult. That's what I thought. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. But I think a try and error. And at the end, now I have a course where I run my masterclass every month. I have membership. Now I think I know what I am doing, but it wasn't easy. happy. But yeah, I share my skills. I have people, they want to do wedding, they want to do a bride hair, and the styles the bride have chosen, they don't really know how to do it. Those are the people that come to me. They say, Chris, most of the classes I do is online. There's this particular style a bride wants to do. How do I do it? So we book a one-on-one session, sometimes 3 hours, 2 hours. I send the materials, what they need, and I give them a little kind of videos. And on that day, they come and we do the style, and they go and do the wedding, and they send me the pictures, and it's exactly what the bride wanted. So with that, I feel so kind of happy to be able to share and to see people that want to learn just like me. So that just make me just a little Christiana of when I was 7, 10, following my sisters to the salon. Now I'm not making my own. I used to look at a magazine. Now I'm not putting my client in magazine. How awesome is that?
How awesome is that?
You are listening to Unleash Your Creativity with Omashola, showcasing creativity in its many dimensions.
Now, this is what some people have been forced to stay to the end to listen to. You told us earlier that you had no clue about Instagram or anything, but across your social media, you now have close to 500,000 followers. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And I know people want to know. So just give us some nuggets, just 1 or 2 nuggets, because we still have a bit to cover of how that happened.
I think I went in there blindly, which if anybody is starting, I would say no. So you need to know what you're getting yourself into. What I would say, if there's anyone there that wants to grow on their social media, I think is first of all being your authentic self. So when you be yourself, don't try to copy anybody. So it's okay, this person, let me talk like you can copy, maybe see their setup, but be you, be original. When you're original, people will notice it, and that will make them follow you. Other thing again that will make that I've noticed that helped me, and I think I didn't know that on time, is by giving value to people. People always ask me, how do you have followers? Like I'm asking them, who do you follow? You can't, you follow where you're going to get value from. So if you see like even food, you see like a nice food, and maybe you're going through Instagram. That's for me. I see a nice prepared food. I just quickly go to the person page and I follow them, because in case I want to cook that kind of food, I quickly go to their page. Now you understand. So yes, whatever you're doing, always think, will somebody learn from this thing? Will somebody be happy? Like, will this help 1 or 2 people? If your answer is yes, keep on doing it. Even though you're not seeing any progress, with time, the algorithm, that's the thing that controls the engine of the social media. They will know who your audience are. That's why it takes time to grow. And you keep on showing up. You keep on showing up. This is not like you keep on showing up. And before you know, overnight, I used to beg people to follow me. I am begging people, follow me, please. Don't do that. Trust yourself, work on yourself, and the rest will just fall into place.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, those are very rich nuggets in there. And if I did not remember anything, be your authentic self. Now I'm going to ask you very quickly. You know this question is coming. Since you listen to my show, what does creativity mean to you?
Creativity to me is being you, being yourself. After being yourself, don't be scared to break the rules. That's where the creativity comes in, because when you be yourself, you are not scared to try. And when you start trying, I tell people that everyone, we have a creativity within us, but you need to tap into it. So creativity to me is being yourself, and then your true creativity will shine. And for me, I say everyone is creative, but just know what makes you tick, and then your creativity will just shine through.
Now, you do know that on this show, I have a did you know? I use that not necessarily to test. You've had too many tests during your time as a student, so I'm not tested, but I feel that it's nice to bring what you do to light. So I went down to have a look at the trend, and it was down memory lane for me on black hair. You remember I talked about innovation, of how there has been so many innovations over the years. In 1920, I went that far back, there was a design called Marcel, breaking free from the traditional long braided styles. In the 1960s, it was about the civil rights movement came over, and then the black women began to embrace their natural hair texture. The afro became the symbol of power. In the 80s, it was jerry curls. Do you remember jerry curls? And this was, I did jerry curls myself, and it was a chemical treatment that softened the hair and defined curls. In the 1990s, it was the boxed braids. I'm going to ask you about that, because I don't remember the box braids, but I do remember cornrows. And in the 20s, it was the slick look, and that was where the straightener and the flat irons and all of that came into place. And then in the 2010s, we went back to the natural hair. Overall, black hair trends, and it's influenced by culture, by history, and it really is an expression of our identity. So does any of that resonate with you? I mean, see how innovative hair has been over the seasons. And I don't know whether you don't mind telling me, because I remember the wigs. When we were taught wigs when I was taught wigs in the 80s, I'm like, who's going to be doing this?
No one.
Look at the wigs and look at that. So that's something also that you engage in. Do you want to quickly round up, and if there's anything you want to add about the trends and about wigs?
I like when you said about the jerry coils. To me, I thought jerry coils, because everybody was doing jerry coils, and you have to really know how to use the rollers and make the coil stay. And now, if you come to my salon now, you want to do jerry coils, I will say, I don't do that. You understand? So things just change. As a hairstylist, I think it's good to change, to learn more skills so that you can adapt with the changes. And as you said, with the box braid, we used to just do, we call it Bob Marley before. And before you know, people say box. We say, no, it's the same braid we do, but just
a different name.
Different name. And now the new one, they call it the feeding braids.
Okay.
You take little braids, you'll be adding it to the braids, and that's it. If you tell them it's still the same, they're telling the youngsters, they say, no, we want feeding braids. I'm like, it's like boss braid, but
I think it's the names. The names change. It's history
and the technique
itself.
a little bit.
Techniques.
Yes.
Yeah. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I have enjoyed it thoroughly, and it will be me doing an injustice if I don't ask, where can people find you? Where can they start following and enjoying the tips, the tricks? If not a hairdresser, the social media movement, where can we find you?
You can find me on Hair by Chrisbecks. So like the hair on your hair by Chris and Becks. So when you type that in, I am everywhere. I am all over social media. And if you want to come and see me, maybe for consultation, I am in London, 14 Rushy Green, SE4 4JF. So yeah, and but if you want to follow me, I am on TikTok, on YouTube, same name, Hair by Chrisbecks. I am on Pinterest, I have Instagram, and I have Facebook page. So which one is next now that we need to conquer?
I have no idea. I leave that to the queen. So I just want to say thank you once again. It has been,
thank you for having me.
The time has gone so quick. I've enjoyed myself.
You have been listening to Unleash Your Creativity with Omashola, showcasing creativity in its many dimensions.